and welcome to the first edition of Beyond Scoreboard, a podcast show where we get in conversation with our young Indian athletes. Well, before we begin the podcast, let me take you to the journey of our two esteemed guests. Maheshwari Chauhan was 12 when she first picked up the Beretta 682 from her grandfather's extensive collection, igniting her passion for shooting. Now 27, Maheshwari Chauhan secured a Paris Olympic quota in women's skeet shooting by finishing second in the ISSF Final Olympic Shotgun Qualification Tournament in Doha. Additionally, she claimed a bronze medal in the Asian Championship 2024 held in Kuwait. Her journey includes notable achievements such as a top 20 finish in the ISSF World Cup in Mexico in 2013, followed by a top 10 finish in the Asian Championship in 2016. However, it was a bronze medal in the 2017 Asian Shotgun Championship held in Kazakhstan that solidified Chauhan as a formidable talent on the national stage. Well, congratulations first, both of you, for securing an Olympic quota for yourself, for our country. How are you feeling?
I think it's a great honor to be able to win a quota for India, especially for skeet women, because this is the first time we'll have the team going and shooting the Olympics. We've never had skeet women go for Olympics before. So to be a part of this, sort of almost like breaking the glass ceiling, to go ahead with this and to be a part of it is such an honor. And for my work to translate it's been a personal milestone, so I'm very glad to have achieved it. It's taken a lot of effort, a lot of team effort, and very happy about it.
So what about you? How do you feel when you first saw her, how she was and how she has transformed herself into the game? How far she'll go? What is your take on that?
The first time that I've seen Maheshwari was here in New Delhi, in the New Delhi shooting range, maybe in April or in May 2022. And I've seen immediately the talent from this girl. But sometime she was shooting with the more pressure on the shoulders, more pressure inside, so feeling the not comfortable sensations. And so in the start she shot good, she shot bad, like this. So then I speak with Maheshwari about of this. Maheshwari, please come with me, training with me. Okay, my big pleasure. So start, and then with the hard work, with the patience from me and from she.
You both made a excellent team.
Exact. Because without the team is not possible win. It's not possible go for take the medal, for take the goal is not possible alone, for me and for she. And so then we have started to do this travel together until now, and now we will see.
Okay. What is the dynamic that you both share?
For me, it's obviously a coach, but it's also of a friend, of a mentor that I look up to. I think my biggest learning from him, I would say even away from shooting, has been the mindset and how you can apply these principles, not just in shooting, but in life. It's just being really easy, light, more carefree, and being present in everything and putting yourself first, but not selfishly, but for like just being happy and respecting everything. He has a very good approach towards life, and I've really observed that the last few years helped me a lot personally change my philosophy of everything that I do. And that'll definitely be the most important part. And of course, I trust him a lot. I know he's working for my best. And to have that to know that someone is working their best for you puts you in such a confident stance to just go ahead. So yeah, I think That's been the most important.
Talking about your performance at IISF Final Olympic Qualification Championship at Doha, after the first quota was taken by Raisa Dhillon, what was your mindset here? There was some added pressure as well. So, to take the quota this time, because after that, there won't be the chance again.
Definitely pressures there in every competition. You cannot have the game without the pressure. But I was feeling really, I kept telling myself, we've been working really hard, not just for this competition, but the last 2 years, and especially the last 8-9 months, focusing solely on getting the quota. And I knew my good would be good enough. So if I was just doing the best I can, I knew it would match the world level. And we really enjoyed the pressure of this competition. We did. And I'm very happy that, in fact, I feel really proud that it was this competition that I was able to get the quota in with the stakes were the highest. So I think it went well, even with the pressure.
Were you sure of her win at that time? What was your mindset? How were you training her?
In Doha, for my opinion, for Maheshwari, in Doha, Maheshwari shoot not good, more than good.
More than
But
good.
for why? Because Maheshwari, for prepare this competition, I prepare with me this competition, always in the 1 month ago from now, always with a smile in the face. So she shoot with enjoy, because without enjoy, yes, the technique is important, is a big important part in this game, in the Skeet. But is more important, for my opinion, shoot with enjoy, for feel the pleasure.
Right. You picked up the gun for the first time when you were 12 years old.
Yes.
And you've taken the legacy of your grandfather and your father. You have a shooting range at your place in
Yes.
Rajasthan.
Yeah.
So, when you look back at your journey, how far do you think you've achieved to the place where you wanted to be?
This is definitely a place I wanted to be, even more so because, like I said, India had never reached this place before. Now that I look back, I feel like there's a lot that I have covered in the last little more than a decade now. But it's I think the most humbling part is how it's been the entire progress has been a trial and error situation, where you try something, okay, this doesn't work. You try a coach, it's good, but it's not what I'm looking for. Training in India, training abroad, getting the right kind of understanding, getting the right equipment. So it's all been a trial and error situation with a lot of support from my family. And to finally come to a place where I have a really good coach, I have a really good team with my trainer and all the other aspects of the sport. I think that's been a big achievement, because you cannot do it alone. No one does it alone. It takes a village. It takes a team. It's a lot of people putting their lives behind yours to
Yes.
support your goal and your passion.
Right.
Yes.
You spoke about your training in Italy.
Yes.
So how was it like, the language barrier, being in another country, leaving your family behind
Yes.
with one goal that I have to reach where I want to be?
Earlier, it used to be difficult. I'm not going to lie. When I was a little younger, it was difficult, but now it's easier. Italy feels like second home. I don't have such a language issue because people like him make so much of an effort. They speak English. They learn English at whatever age, and it. I know that there's all this effort is being put for me, for my comfort, so that there is no issue while translating.
Right.
So everyone speaks English. I have friends now. I train with the athletes back in Italy, who are all like friends and family.
You have my dogs also.
Yes, his dogs. So it's really now it's starting to feel like second home. I'm a lot happier there now. So
Okay.
yes.
So how are you preparing for Paris Olympic now? What is the mindset strategy now? I want both of you to answer. Like, I want to know, like, the athlete point of view and the coach's point of view.
For me, actually, the strategy is keep it simple and be really happy. through the next few months, because it has taken so much work and dedication over the years, and a lot of sacrifices and difficulty to be here. And to go forward, I don't want to lose out on enjoying this time, because you don't experience it every year or every now and then. It comes once in 4 years. You have to go cycle by cycle. So we obviously are going to work very hard, harder than we've ever worked. That's a given. Excited about putting in the work. And for an athlete, there is nothing bigger than the Olympics. So that opportunity itself, I just want to enjoy every moment and every adulation and everything that comes with it.
Right.
I'm ready to embrace it.
What is your strategy now for her?
My strategy for the next Olympic Games is the same strategy that now I've used. We've used until now for win the quota, for arrive here, and for shoot hope good, and then we will see. But it's most important, shoot with enjoy, with smile, without pressure, because the pressure will come, sure. This concept is clear, because India is a huge country, 1.5 billion people. So in the first time for the women team in the Olympics Games, so I know this. But the pressure must come, but the pressure must go out.
You mentioned two of the women are now going for skeet fighting from India.
Yeah.
So why do we see less of women here in the Olympic podium? Is there anything that Indian coaches should work upon, or as an athlete, where do you think we are lacking behind?
I would say domestically, the competition, it's improved a lot, and I think that's the reason we have two women ready to participate for the Olympics this time around. But like 10 years ago when I started, the entire skeet women were like in all 4 or 5 athletes, and now we have about 40 or 50 athletes. So I feel like the way the participation increases, the awareness for the sport increases, the facilities get better, the support gets better, the competition domestically gets better. And when you have a good level of competition within India, you get better internationally. And the moment that's there, you're up with the best athletes. And that will automatically increase your chances for the Olympics.
100%.
So I think India is doing really well. Skeet women are so strong now. And I'm so happy for, everyone who's shooting so well, especially the last few years. And it's because of everyone working so hard and competitively domestically.
Right.
We have the results today.
Perfect. Let's talk about your performance at the Asian Games. You missed out there for the Olympic quota. After that, the journey from there till ISSF, what was that like? How did you train in that period?
Yes, I missed out the quota by a couple of points in the final, because only one country can get, per person from a country can get a quota. And Raisa shot a higher score and won a silver, so she got the quota. And for me, I think I was technically in a good place. And I think I just mentally had to trust myself more to better the game. And we've been working on technically for the last 2 years. So bridging the gap of confidently going in and trusting the technique, we were just trying to bridge that gap. So we've been working every month together. Even before Kuwait, we were training together. But after Asian Games, we worked together for about 10 days every month. In Feb, in March, and then I was in Italy for 20 days before Doha. So we've just been trying to work on the small details, like he mentions. It's all connected.
Not small,
micro adjustments to get a bigger result. So yeah.
During your match in Doha, you were against a player from Chile, and during the final shoot-off, where you both had the same points, and you missed out from goal from just one single shot, where you missed the 2 pigeons, I would say.
Yes.
So, how did you feel at that time, even though you won the Olympic quota, but losing a goal, but just from one point?
I was extremely disappointed in the moment, but it was also my first shoot off. So I did go in hoping just for the quota. So I was happy settling for the silver this time around. But of course, missing out on the gold from such a near margin, and after, especially after doing a comeback in the final, of course, I was disappointed. But the goal was the quota. And so for now, I'm just settling for that. And I keep telling myself I'll have better and bigger chances and bigger platforms to fight for the gold again.
Definitely, we want to see you more in the finals now.
Yes,
And
definitely.
of course, at the Olympic podium. What are the myths and misconceptions that you would like to debunk around shooting?
I think people, like most people, don't believe that I'm a shooter because I have a smaller structure. I'm shorter, and I think they think it's the gun's really heavy, or they won't be able to move with it, or something, or the recoil is too much. But it's such a dynamic and enjoyable sport. And if people would just step away from it being this heavy weapon and very inaccessible sport, and if they were just to try it, or maybe even try to gather a little knowledge about it, I think it's one of those sports that would teach you everything you need to know about yourself and life. And I wish that more people came and at least tried it or gave it a shot, because it's so enjoyable and every day is new, every day. So
What is your training regime?
so I do shoot a lot. I train 6 days a week, sometimes even 7, but 6 days on average when we're working
Yes,
together
average is
in
6.
full season. Sometimes if I'm breaking my sessions up, I train about 2-3 hours in the morning, and then about 1.5-2 hours in the evening, like around 4 to 6. But usually if it's just one session, I'll be at the range for at least 4 hours and train differently every day to keep it more interesting, see what I need to focus on and work on more in that particular moment in time. And then, of course, I try to take a few pockets out for maybe 4 or 5 days to a week every month, where I'm just with my family, away from the sport, just to mentally recoup before I get back.
Okay.
But this year has been a long season, because in winters we were domestically competing for the team trials and the Olympic
Too many.
trials. And that's been a regular, almost every month we've had competitions. And then the international season started in Jan for us. So a lot of shooting this year, but I do try to find a better balance where the sport is always enjoyable no matter how much I train. And he helps with that. When I'm training with him, it feels a lot lighter. When I'm all alone, sometimes it gets a bit exhausting. So yeah.
So what are the psychological and physiological advantage that she has? Like I think she said that she has a smaller stature, which other people think it as like maybe
Yeah, that it's a difficulty in
difficulty in
or
holding the
something.
gun. Maybe if more height was a more advantage for her.
For my opinion, the skeet, also the trap, but the skeet above all, is not a sport for the giant.
Okay.
Because for 2 reasons. First reason is that this is for a 50%, this is the mental sport. So the technique is important, but it's important for the 50%, 60%. The other 50, 40% is mental, is in the brain. So if you are like this, like me, or like a giant, don't change nothing. And in the skeet, for my opinion, it's better be like this than the giant, because it's my opinion, it's better for see the target from down.
Okay. You see the flying target.
Exact.
Yeah, the angle
But
at which you see the target.
The story learn this. Me, Vincent
All the
Hancock,
best shooters, yes.
Ennio Falco, or Bruno Rossetti, or the women, Diana Bacosi, Kimberly Road, or like this. I can go on for 1 hour.
They've all
But
been shot, yeah.
the story learn this. No giants.
Okay. So you get a better lower angle view.
Your center of gravity is lower, and it's just like a personal thing. What I'm trying to say is that you have athletes of all shapes and sizes from all around the world, But if you were to talk about height in Skeet, all the like the best shooters in the world from the past until today have been shorter height people.
Okay.
In Skeet shooting,
In
particularly.
skeet shooting. In the trap, yes.
So that is your physiological advantage, I would say.
Yes, it's advantage,
Big-
definitely.
Maybe because for a normal people like me or like Maheshwari, this is a dynamic sport. So it's better turn right, turn left. Maybe it's better. Like for play the football. Messi, Maradona, or
Yes.
for the same reasons.
Okay, so you and your husband both share similar interest in shooting.
Yes. My husband, Adraj, he used to be a trap shooter, was part of the Indian team as a junior.
Strong trap shooter,
A
please.
very strong trap shooter. He started working and just didn't have the time to continue professionally because shooting, it does take up a lot of your time and energy. And but no, I met him before I got into shooting. I did meet him at the range the first time, but yes, we have shooting as a common factor, and it's been so important because for him to understand what I do and to support it the way he does, it would be impossible for someone who didn't understand what shooting was to support me at the level that he can and does continue to support me through this.
If we talk about your village, Rajasthan, Siana, now that you've become a star there, how does that feel like when you visited your
It's
place?
very humbling. Like I say, it never takes one person. There's just so much love, blessings, support, and just so much, I would say, adulation for me and my family and what I do. To be
As a
able
woman
to,
shooter
yes,
also.
definitely. In fact, I think this whole barrier of what women athletes represent has become so strong now of how people are, what they do. People respect it more. I think women are more interested in looking at sports as a career now. And even in villages, this kind of support, even now, the government offers where it comes to jobs, to just the benefits that you get as an athlete, it's definitely getting better. There are so many good government schemes today that help athletes from a better ground level. So even in the villages, the knowledge is there, the support is there, and that's definitely, it's very overwhelming, but at the same time, it's so humbling, and I feel so fortunate to be on the receiving end of it.
Definitely. Let's talk about the challenges that you faced. You did not begin with having part of a scheme where the athletes are provided or funded, and there was no corporate sponsorship as well. So talk about that challenge that you faced.
Yes, shooting in shotgun shooting in India particularly is a very expensive sport, and that sort of limits the access to it. I've been very lucky to be supported by my family very unconditionally, and that's been the reason I'm here today. Corporate sponsorships get a little tricky in our sport because it's not played on TV. There are not a lot of benefits. I can't do a lot of marketing for companies. So it sort of gets taken away in that part of the parcel situation. The government schemes have also come up very recently, and they all start at a more younger age level. So to get into them is a little harder. So yes, but now I'm part of them, which I'm very grateful for. But it's been hard. It's not easy, especially because everything is imported. So we're using Italian guns, Italian ammunition, Italian coaches, getting training there. Clay targets are limited, and it's all very expensive. So it is very hard because you have to make every trip and every training count. You have to make sure you're investing in the right things at the right time, and so
And then
there's
opening,
yes, and
opening,
then yes,
maybe.
and then hoping that it all translates well.
So what are your future goals right now, and how this year is gonna be like? What are the major events you're gonna participate in?
So we have 2 World Cups coming up, 2 ISSF World Cups coming up. One I'm heading for very soon to Baku, and then we have one in Italy in mid-June. before the Olympics. So both of them are very important because according to the Indian selection criteria, our performances are going to matter a lot. And it's obviously the Olympic year is the most crucial year for everyone, for all athletes. And this is when you're fine-tuning your technique, you're preparing yourself for the matches. So just to see how we play out in these World Cups with the same athletes at that standard would be a very good practice for all the pressure training that we need going into the Olympics. Of course, this year's major goal is to reach the Olympics and do my best and hopefully get a medal for India. And that's, I mean, for me, this year is still July. It's still the Olympics.
All right. All the best for that.
Thank you.
From India, 21 shooters are going to the Paris Olympics. So the entire team will be going with you. How excited are you? And अभी क्या बातें हो रही हैं उनके साथ? And what is your preparation now?
It's extremely exciting to have a team. Just the whole atmosphere of the entire contingent traveling together. Like you stay at a games village, the entire atmosphere is completely different. You're with all different athletes from all different sports. It's an amazing, amazing feeling. And I think shooting is going to go literally all guns blazing this time. We've maxed out on all quotas in every event, and India's, I mean, touch wood, but I believe that the contingent's ready for the Olympics. The rifle pistol team is so strong. They've all been performing so consistently through the last couple of years. The shotgun team is so strong this time. We've had such good competition domestically and internationally. We've had podium finishes. And that obviously comes with a lot of hope going into the Olympics. So I think India, I hope that our entire contingent can make the country really proud. I think a lot of athletes are going to look back at Tokyo. I'm sure they've learned a lot and they're going to look forward, and I think they're all ready to be at the top this time.
We are definitely hoping for a gold this time in shooting, because we have like...
You can hope for quite a few many this time, hopefully.
Yes, definitely. We had a wonderful conversation.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for having us.
Well, that was it for today. This is me, Aishwarya, signing off. You were watching Beyond Scoreboard.